Your life is a lie. That is the uncomfortable truth you have been avoiding. You are not stuck because you lack talent or time or opportunity. You are stuck because you are addicted to comfort. You have built a cage of convenience around yourself, and you call it stability. You call it being realistic. You call it taking it easy. But deep down, you know the truth. You feel the slow, quiet rot of wasted potential. You feel the heavy weight of the life you could be living, pressing down on the life you are living. This is not another feel-good motivational speech. This is a wake-up call. This is the cold, hard slap of reality you need to stop hitting the snooze button on your own life. If you are looking for someone to tell you it's okay, that you are doing great, that you should just relax and wait for things to happen, then turn this off now. You are not ready for this truth. But if you are tired of the excuses, if you are sick of the delay, if you are ready to admit that the only thing standing between you and your best life is your own fear of discomfort, then stay. Because for the next hour and a half, we are going to expose the lie of the comfort zone. We are going to dismantle the psychological traps you have set for yourself. We are going to talk about the cost of delay, the necessity of pain, and the absolute requirement of consistent, uncomfortable action. This is not about motivation. Motivation is temporary. This is about building a new identity, an identity that thrives on challenge, an identity that sees discomfort not as a warning sign, but as the only reliable signal for growth. You have been waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect feeling. That moment will never come. The perfect plan is a myth, and the perfect feeling is a lie your brain tells you to keep you small. The life you want is on the other side of the work you are currently avoiding, and that work is uncomfortable. It is supposed to be. It is the friction that creates the fire. So let us begin. Let us start by looking at the very foundation of your problem. Let us look at the biggest lie you tell yourself every single day. Chapter 1. The lie of safety. Comfort is not security, it's stagnation. The comfort zone is a psychological trap. It is a warm, familiar blanket that your brain wraps around you, whispering, "Stay here. It is safe. Nothing bad can happen here." And you believe it. You mistake the absence of immediate pain for the presence of security. But this is the most dangerous deception of all. Comfort is not security, it's stagnation. It is the slow, quiet death of your potential. Think of a pond that is constantly fed by a fresh stream and constantly drained by an outflow, remains clear, vibrant, and full of life. It is dynamic. Now imagine a pond with no inflow and no outflow. It is still, it is calm, it is comfortable. But what happens to that water? It becomes stagnant. It breeds mosquitoes. It grows algae. It begins to decay. The comfort zone is that stagnant pond. It feels safe because nothing is moving, but in reality, it is decaying, and you are the life inside it. Your mind and your skills are the same. If you are not actively challenging them, if you are not pushing new information in and forcing new solutions out, they are not staying the same. They are regressing. They are losing their sharpness. The world outside is moving at a relentless pace. Every day you spend in the comfortable stillness, the gap between where you are and where you need to be grows wider. You are not maintaining, you are falling behind. The lie of safety is built on a simple, primitive instinct: survival. Your brain is wired to conserve energy and avoid risk. It sees the new project, the difficult conversation, the early morning workout, and it screams, "Danger! Unnecessary energy expenditure, retreat to the known." It is doing its job, the job it was designed for thousands of years ago. But you are not a caveman hunting for food. You are a modern human with goals, dreams, and a potential that demands to be expressed. You must learn to override that primitive programming. You must learn to see the fear of discomfort not as a stop sign, but as the compass pointing you toward your next level of growth. The people you admire, the ones who have built the businesses, written the books, achieved the physical transformations, they don't have a different brain than you. They have simply trained their brain to associate discomfort with reward. They have learned that the feeling of resistance is the sound of a barrier breaking. When you feel that urge to stop, to delay, to go back to the easy path, that is the moment of truth. That is the moment you are about to make a withdrawal from your potential account. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you are telling your mind, my growth is not worth the effort. And your mind listens. It adapts. It makes the comfortable path easier and the challenging path harder. You must stop waiting for the feeling of readiness. Readiness is a myth. It is a fantasy of the comfortable mind. You will never feel ready to start the hard thing. You will never feel motivated to have the difficult conversation. You will never feel like waking up at 5 a.m. The people who succeed do not wait for the feeling. They act in the absence of it. They understand that action creates the feeling, not the other way around. They know that the only way to build the muscle of discipline is to lift the weight of discomfort. So look around your life right now. Where are you comfortable? Where have you settled? Is it your job, where you do just enough to not get fired? Is it your relationships, where you avoid the difficult, honest conversations to maintain a false peace? Is it your health, where you choose the easy meal and the soft couch over the demanding workout? Every area of comfort is an area of stagnation. Every area of comfort is a silent promise that you will not grow there. The only way to break the lie of safety is to deliberately, consistently, and uncomfortably seek out the edge of your current ability. You must make a conscious decision to be uncomfortable every single day, not because you enjoy the pain, but because you respect the process. You respect the fact that the life you want is built by the person you are becoming, and that person is forged in the fire of challenge, not the lukewarm bath of comfort. The choice is simple, but it is not easy. You can choose the temporary relief of comfort and the long-term pain of regret, or you can choose the temporary pain of discipline and the long-term relief of achievement. The comfort zone is not a home, it is a prison, and the only way out is through the wall of resistance. Now that we have exposed the lie, it is time to calculate the true cost of believing it. It is time to look at what you have actually lost in the last year by waiting for ready. Most people think the cost of delay is simply the time they lost. They think, oh, I'll just start next month and I'll catch up. This is the fundamental misunderstanding of how momentum and compounding work. The cost of delay is not linear, it is exponential. When you wait for ready, you are not just losing time, you are losing the compound interest on your potential. Think about it in terms of money. If you invest $1,000 today, it starts earning interest immediately. If you wait 1 year to invest that same $1,000, you have not just lost 1 year of your initial investment, you have lost the interest that money would have earned, and the interest that the interest would have earned. You have lost the compound effect. The same principle applies to your habits, your skills, and your goals. When you delay starting that business, you are not just losing the revenue from the first year. You are losing the knowledge you would have gained, the network you would have built, the mistakes you would have learned from, and the momentum that would have propelled you into year 2. You are losing the compound effect of action. This is the uncomfortable calculation you must make. What is the true, non-linear cost of your comfort zone? Let us break it down into 3 categories. 1. The cost in skill and opportunity. Every day you delay practicing a skill, you are not just staying at the same level, you are actively regressing because the muscle of that skill is weakening. Furthermore, every day you delay, you are missing the opportunities that only become visible to people who are already in motion. Opportunities don't wait for you to be ready. They are attracted to momentum. The person who started 6 months ago, even imperfectly, is now seeing doors open that you can't even perceive from your comfortable, stagnant position. You are not just missing the door, you are missing the map to the door. 2. The cost in self-trust. This is the most insidious cost of delay. Every time you tell yourself, "I will start tomorrow," and then you don't, you make a small withdrawal from your self-trust account. You teach your subconscious mind that your word means nothing. You train yourself to be a liar to the one person you should never lie to, yourself. This erosion of self-trust is why you feel that constant low-grade anxiety and self-doubt. It's not because you're incapable, it is because you have a long, documented history of breaking promises to yourself. You are waiting for motivation, but motivation is built on self-trust. You cannot feel motivated to start a big goal when you can't even trust yourself to wake up on time or finish a simple task. The cost of delay is the destruction of your own belief in your ability to follow through. 3. The cost in emotional weight. The thing you are delaying does not just sit there neutrally, it becomes a weight. It becomes a source of guilt, anxiety, and shame. The longer you put off the difficult conversation, the heavier the relationship becomes. The longer you put off the financial planning, the more stressful your money situation feels. You think you are avoiding pain by delaying the action, but you're actually trading a short, sharp pain of discipline for a long, dull, soul-crushing pain of avoidance. The comfort zone is not a place of rest. It is a place of emotional debt. You are paying interest on your inaction every single day. Now stop and look at the last year of your life. Be brutally honest. What is the one thing you knew you should have started? The business, the book, the fitness routine, the relationship boundary. If you had started that thing 1 year ago, even with 15 minutes of imperfect action every day, where would you be now? You would not be at the starting line. You would be halfway to the finish line with a year of compounding knowledge, momentum, and self-trust under your belt. That gap, the distance between where you are and where you should be, that is the true cost of delay. That is the price of your comfort. The only way to stop paying this exponential cost is to interrupt the pattern of hesitation. You must find a way to move from the thought of action to the act of doing in less than 5 seconds. You must bypass the negotiation phase where your comfortable mind tries to talk you out of the necessary pain. In the next chapter, we will discuss the single most powerful tool for interrupting this cycle of delay and reclaiming your momentum. It is a simple, brutal rule that separates the people who talk about change from the people who actually change. This shift is not about positive thinking. It is about honest action. It is about proving to yourself with irrefutable evidence that you are the kind of person who follows through. And once you have this new identity, you will be ready to face the next uncomfortable truth, that the pain you are avoiding is the only path to the growth you crave. Chapter 5. The Pain Barrier. Why discomfort is the only path to growth. You have been conditioned to believe that pain is a signal to stop. Your entire life, from childhood scraped knees to adult emotional setbacks, has taught you to retreat from discomfort. But if you want to achieve anything extraordinary, you must fundamentally rewire this belief. You must learn to see discomfort not as a warning sign, but as the only reliable signal for growth. The pain barrier is the invisible wall that separates the comfortable life from the extraordinary life. It is the point where the work stops being easy and starts demanding something real from you. It is the moment your mind screams, "This is too hard, stop." And it is precisely at that moment that you must push harder. Think about physical training. A muscle only grows when it is subjected to stress beyond its current capacity. That stress is uncomfortable. It burns. It hurts. If you stop the moment you feel the burn, your muscle will never adapt, never grow stronger. It will remain the same. Your mind, your discipline, and your character are no different. They are muscles that only grow when they are forced to handle a load they have never carried before. The comfort zone is a place where the load is always light. The growth zone is a place where the load is always heavy. And the transition between the two is the pain barrier. You must stop framing discomfort as a negative. It is a positive. It is a metric. It is proof that you are doing the right thing. If the work you are doing feels easy, you are not growing. You are simply maintaining. And as we established, maintaining is regressing. The successful person does not avoid the pain barrier, they actively seek it out. They understand that the pain of discipline is a currency. It is the price of admission to the next level of their potential. They know that the temporary pain of a difficult task is infinitely preferable to the long-term, soul-crushing pain of regret. Let us look at the two types of pain. 1. The pain of discipline. This is the pain of waking up early, of saying no to the easy distraction, of forcing yourself to focus, of having the difficult conversation. It is a sharp, temporary pain. It is a pain that builds. It is a pain that you control. 2. The pain of regret. This is the pain of looking back on a life half lived, of knowing you settled, of seeing your potential wither away. It is a dull, chronic pain. It is a pain that controls you. It is a pain that never goes away. The choice is not between pain and no pain. The choice is between the pain that builds and the pain that destroys. You must learn to embrace the feeling of resistance. When you sit down to work and your mind starts to wander, that is the pain barrier. When you are halfway through a workout and your body begs you to stop, that is the pain barrier. When you are about to launch a project and the fear of failure paralyzes you, that is the pain barrier. Your response to that moment defines your life. Do you retreat to the comfort of distraction, or do you push through the resistance? The builder pushes through. The builder understands that the feeling of "I can't" is simply the sound of a mental limit being tested. It is not a fact, it is a feeling, and feelings are irrelevant to the task. You do not need to feel strong to push through the pain barrier. You push through the pain barrier to become strong. This is where the true work begins. This is where you separate yourself from the 99% who quit when it gets hard. You must commit yourself right now. I will not stop when it gets hard. I will only stop when it is finished. The next time you feel that resistance, that urge to stop, that pull back to comfort, stop for a moment and say this out loud. This is the sound of growth. This is the currency of my future. I will not waste this pain. Once you have mastered the pain barrier, you will realize that the biggest threat to your growth is not your own weakness, but the people and environments around you that want you to stay small. You must learn to filter out the noise. Chapter 6. The Noise Filter. How to silence the voices that want you to stay small. The comfort zone is not just a psychological state, it's a social one. You're surrounded by people, systems, and media that are actively invested in keeping you exactly where you are. They don't want you to change because your growth exposes their stagnation. Your ambition highlights their lack of effort. Your discomfort makes them uncomfortable. This is the uncomfortable truth about your environment. The people who love you the most may be the biggest threat to your potential. They don't do it maliciously. They do it out of fear, out of their own addiction to comfort, and out of a desire to maintain the familiar status quo. When you start waking up early, they will ask, "Why are you doing that? You need your rest." When you start saying no to social events to work on your project, they will say, "You are working too hard, you need balance." When you start talking about a big, scary goal, they will say, "Be realistic, what if you fail?" These are the voices of the comfort zone. They are the noise that tries to pull you back into the stagnant pond. You must learn to filter them out. You must build a noise filter. The noise filter is a mental shield that allows you to distinguish between constructive feedback and comfortable sabotage. 1. Filter the source, not the message. Don't listen to advice from people who are not where you want to be. If someone has not achieved the level of financial freedom, health, or personal discipline you are aiming for, their advice on how to get there is irrelevant. Their fear is not your wisdom. Their comfort is not your goal. You must respect their love, but you must ignore their fear. The only voices you should allow past the filter are those who are actively living the uncomfortable truth, the builders, the achievers, the people who are in motion. 2. Filter the media and input. Your mind is a space, and you are the bouncer. You must be ruthless about what you allow in. If you spend hours consuming content that is designed to distract, entertain, or outrage you, you are filling your mind with noise that works against your goals. The media is designed to keep you passive, consuming, and comfortable. You must replace passive consumption with active learning. Replace scrolling with reading. Replace entertainment with creation. Every piece of input you allow past the filter must either educate you, inspire you, or move you closer to your goal. Anything else is noise. Filter your own excuses. The loudest, most dangerous voice of comfort is your own. Your mind is a master negotiator, and it will use the voices of others as ammunition. It will say, "See, even your friend thinks you should take a break." You must hold yourself to a higher standard than anyone else holds you. Your commitment to your goal must be stronger than your desire for external approval or internal comfort. Building the noise filter requires a clear understanding of your own values and goals. When the noise comes, you don't argue with it. You simply compare it to your core values. Noise. You should take the night off. You deserve it. Filter check. Does this align with my value of consistency and my goal of building momentum? Response. Thank you for the suggestion, but I am a builder. I have a brick to lay tonight. Noise. That goal is too big. You should be more realistic. Filter check. Does this align with my value of growth and my goal of leaving the comfort zone? Response. My goal is not to be realistic, my goal is to be extraordinary. I will not shrink my vision to fit your comfort. You must be willing to disappoint people. You must be willing to be misunderstood. You must be willing to be the one who is too serious, too focused, or too driven. Because the alternative is to live a life that is comfortable to everyone else, but deeply unsatisfying to you. Your growth is a solo journey. You can have support, but you cannot have permission. You must silence the voices that want you to stay small and listen only to the quiet, demanding voice of your own potential.
Chapter 7. The Momentum Trap. Why starting small is the biggest lie. You have heard the advice 1,000 times. Start small, take baby steps, build momentum slowly. This advice is not wrong, but for the person trapped in the comfort zone, it is the biggest lie. It is the momentum trap. The problem with starting small is that it allows your comfortable mind to negotiate the effort down to zero. It allows you to say, "I will do 1 push-up," and then, when you do not do it, the failure is so small that it does not create enough pain to force a change. It is a strategy for minimizing effort, not maximizing growth. For the person who is already in motion, small steps are excellent for consistency. But for the person who is stuck, you do not need consistency. You need irreversible momentum. You need a shock to the system. You need to make a move so large, so uncomfortable, that your old, comfortable identity cannot survive it. You need to make the decisive leap. The decisive leap is an action that is so far outside your comfort zone that it immediately forces you to operate at a higher level. It is a commitment that creates a new reality for you, making retreat impossible. Examples of the decisive leap are the financial leap. Instead of saving a little money, you invest a significant, uncomfortable amount of money into a course, a coach, or a piece of equipment for your new business. You have now created a financial stake that forces you to follow through. You cannot afford to quit. The public leap. Instead of thinking about starting a podcast, you announce to your entire social network that your first episode will be live in 2 weeks. You have now created social accountability. The fear of public failure is now greater than the fear of the work. The time leap. Instead of waking up 5 minutes earlier, you commit to a non-negotiable 2-hour block of work before anyone else in your house is awake. This forces a complete restructuring of your evening and morning routine, making the old, comfortable way of living impossible. The decisive leap works because it bypasses the negotiation phase entirely. It is a shock to the system that creates immediate, high-level discomfort. And as we established, discomfort is the signal for growth. When you take a decisive leap, you are not just taking a step, you are burning the boats. You are telling your mind there is no going back to the comfortable shore. We must now conquer this new land. This creates a powerful, focused energy that small steps simply cannot generate. The fear you feel before the decisive leap is the exact measure of its value. If it does not terrify you, it is not big enough. If it does not force you to question your sanity, it is not a true leap. Now be honest with yourself. What is the one thing you have been starting small on that has gone nowhere? That is the area where you need to apply the decisive leap. You need to stop tiptoeing around your potential and make a commitment that is so big, so uncomfortable, that it forces you to become the builder you need to be. The decisive leap is not about recklessness. It is about calculated, irreversible commitment. It is about using the power of discomfort to create a new reality. Once you have leapt, the challenge shifts from starting to sustaining. You need a system to ensure you never drift back into the comfort zone. You need a daily audit. Chapter 8. The Daily Audit. The 3 questions that expose your comfort habits. The comfort zone is not a destination, it is a drift. You do not wake up one day and decide to be comfortable. You drift there through 1,000 small unconscious choices. To prevent this drift, you need a system of constant, brutal self-awareness. You need the daily audit. The daily audit is a non-negotiable 10-minute session you conduct at the end of every day. Its purpose is not to punish you, but to expose the small, insidious choices that pulled you back toward comfort. It is your noise filter for the day's actions. You must ask yourself 3 questions. Be honest. Do not negotiate. The truth is the only currency that matters here. Question 1. Where did I choose the easy path over the necessary path today? This question is designed to expose your small acts of self-betrayal. It is not about the big failures. It is about the micro decisions. Did you choose the easy meal instead of the prepared healthy one? Did you choose to scroll for 30 minutes instead of reading the chapter? Did you choose to send an email instead of making the uncomfortable phone call? The comfort zone is built on these small, easy choices. They feel harmless in the moment, but they are the bricks of your prison. Identify the specific moment, the specific choice, and the specific feeling that led to it. You're looking for the pattern of avoidance. Question 2. What did I avoid today that would have created irreversible momentum? This question forces you to confront your decisive leap. If your leap was to launch a website, did you avoid writing the first page? If your leap was to start a difficult conversation, did you avoid the person entirely? Momentum is not created by doing easy tasks. It is created by doing the most important, most difficult task first. This question forces you to identify the keystone habit you avoided. The keystone habit is the one action that, if completed, makes everything else easier. Avoiding it is the ultimate act of comfort. You must name the avoided action and commit to using the 5-second rule to execute it first thing tomorrow. Question 3. What evidence did I create today that proves I am a builder? This question is designed to reinforce your new identity. It shifts the focus from failure to evidence. You are not looking for a feeling of accomplishment. You are looking for tangible proof. Did you lay a brick? Did you make the call? Did you finish the difficult chapter? If you cannot name at least one piece of evidence, you have failed the day. A day without evidence of building is a day spent in the comfort zone. The evidence doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be real. A single uncomfortable action is more valuable than a full day of comfortable busy work. The daily audit is your non-negotiable commitment to self-awareness. It is the moment you stop lying to yourself. It is the moment you take ownership of your choices. You must write down the answers to these 3 questions every night. The act of writing forces clarity and accountability. The goal of the daily audit is not to achieve perfection. It is to achieve consistent, uncomfortable progress. It is to ensure that the small daily choices are aligned with the big, extraordinary life you are building. Once you have established this system of accountability, you will inevitably face the next uncomfortable truth, that failure is not a sign to stop, but is a sign that you are finally doing the work. Chapter 9, The Unstoppable Mindset, Building Resilience Through Consistent Failure. The comfort zone is a place where you never fail because you never try anything hard enough to fail at. Failure is the ultimate signal that you have left the stagnant pond and are now operating at the edge of your ability. If you are not failing, you are not growing. You must fundamentally reframe your relationship with failure. Stop seeing it as the opposite of success. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is data. It is proof of effort. It is the tuition you pay for the education of experience. The unstoppable mindset is built on the understanding that the only true failure is the failure to try. When you fail, your comfortable mind will try to pull you back. It will whisper, "See, I told you it was too hard. Go back to the easy path. Go back to comfort." This is the final, most powerful negotiation. You must resist it. You must learn to celebrate failure, not because you enjoy the setback, but because it is the only reliable metric for having pushed past your limits. The failure audit. When you experience a setback, you do not wallow in self-pity. You conduct a failure audit, which is a cold, analytical process. 1. Is this a failure of effort or a failure of strategy? Most people confuse the two. A failure of effort means you quit too soon or did not put in the necessary work. This is a failure of discipline, and the solution is to use the 5-second rule and the builder identity to push harder. A failure of strategy means the plan was flawed. This is a failure of knowledge, and the solution is to learn, adjust, and try again. Never confuse a failure of strategy with a failure of self-worth. 2. What is the single most valuable piece of data this failure provided? Every failure is a lesson disguised as a setback. You must